Hey guys, Rhett here. What is going on? I am back at my client Kent's Section 8 rental property. And guys, I wanted to do this video and Kent and I were talking about this, and I've put the original video that I did on Kent's property in the description below. If you haven't seen that yet, please watch that one first. Kent is one of the absolute thought leaders in affordable housing. He's got a great podcast. He's got a great YouTube channel. I've put his information, links to his channels below. Please check them out. I've also linked a video that Kent and I did together, where Kent was nice enough to have me on his channel to talk about affordable housing, talk about Section 8, talk about the difference that we do. And then weeks later, Kent called me and said, Rhett, you know, I want to do something together. I want you to go in and turn over one of my Section 8 units. And I said, Kent, I would love to do that. And basically, we have the finished product here behind me, and I have the pre-rehab video underneath. So watch that first and then watch this one. But part of what I want to do in this video, and it's what Kent and I talked about, is I want to go over the failure points, potential failure points that Section 8 is going to look for when you do a rehab like this. So come on in, guys. We're going to talk about it, okay? And we're going to go through a bunch of things that Section 8 is going to flag. So as we walk into this house, one of the things you'll notice is all the original hardwoods in here have been redone. So everything in here has been sanded, refinished. It looks absolutely amazing. You'll see in this bedroom too, everything looks so good. This was not a bedroom, okay? So we built this. This was a 3-bedroom, we turned it into a 4. So we have brand new walls here, brand new door frame, brand new door. Everything in here is new, okay? Brand new closet door. This did not exist. This was part of the living room. Now, what a lot of people will say is, okay, well, what is Section 8 going to look for here? And Section 8 is going to look for a couple things when they walk into this room. Number one, they're going to make sure that the outlet covers are clean and the outlets are clean, okay? They're going to test these outlets for, if they're a 3-prong outlet. When you're looking at an outlet, I just want to explain this to everybody. So when you're looking at an outlet, okay, these 2 prongs right here, this is where you get your power from. This hole right here is a ground hole, okay? So this hole right here is what grounds whatever you're using. Inside this outlet, there's a ground wire that basically, it's a wire that attaches to here and runs through the house and literally runs into a ground underneath the house, okay? So that's your ground. When you run into issues with Section 8, it's because you have a 3-prong outlet which has an area for a ground, but it's not grounded. So that's a failure point. So if this house was not grounded, if these outlets weren't grounded, we would have to have 2-prong outlets, which look like this, okay? And then in that case, we have no grounds. Therefore, you can't plug things into this that draw a lot of power. When you have those ground holes, you can put items into this outlet that pull a lot of power. And when you pull a lot of power out of this system and you're not grounded, you create the opportunity for fires to happen, okay? And electrical shock and a lot more danger. So that's one of the first things they're going to look at. Now, the other thing that they're going to look at in this room, they're going to make sure first and foremost that it has a closet. They're going to make sure that the door opens and closes. They're going to make sure it latches. They're going to make sure that when you pull on it, it doesn't open, okay? So if, I'm going to turn it, but if it was doing this and not latching, that's a failure. I'm going to close it, because it was installed right. So Section 8 is really going to focus on things like that, because they want to make sure that the people that move in here aren't going to have to deal with it. Nobody wants a door that's going to open like this and swing open all the time. So those are some of the things that they're going to look at. They're going to do the same thing with the door to the bedroom. Okay? Same thing. This is brand new. Everything here is new, so it should work. They're going to make sure that it locks. Okay? Unlocks. Closes. Latches, firm, okay? So things that you think might be trivial, Section 8 is going to look at. They're going to make sure that the ground is safe. So everything on the ground, one of the big things they'll look at, they'll want to make sure that all the vent covers are on, okay? They're going to want to make sure that every bedroom has at least 2 points of egress. where, for example, if there is a fire in the hallway, I need to escape the room, I cannot go out the door. Where can I go? Can I go out a window? Is the window accessible if I have to get out of it? Is it large enough for me to escape? All of those things. If there's a fire up against this wall of the house, do I have another point of egress? I do, I have a door out. So things that you guys are like, I know this stuff, this is easy. It's not easy for everybody. And especially, this is kind of funny to think about, but when you have contractors that do this work like we do, a lot of them don't understand what needs to be done to get units ready for Section 8, how to get units ready for Section 8. So very, very important that you have people doing work for you that understand what to do. If you guys want to do something like this, just like Kent, and have a beautiful house like this, turn out like this, send me an email below, guys. We'll get you started. You'll have something beautiful just like this. So now, when it comes to the windows, Section 8 is going to go back to the windows, and they're going to say, okay, do they lock? Now, these are old aluminum windows, okay? Even though they're aluminum, they should still open, lock, and hold open. So, we're going to unlock this window. It's going to open. Now, when I let it go, if it falls, it's a fail. Pass, okay? They want to make sure that it stays, and then they want to make sure it's easy to do. So if I'm, doing this, it's not going to work. But I can literally take this with 2 fingers, push it up all the way, take it, push it down with ease, and close it, no problem. They want to make sure that your tenants aren't going to struggle to do it, and then we lock it, okay? Nothing. Nice and safe. So we're in 1 bedroom here, and there's 10 different things that can fail. Very, very important. Another thing, brand new bedroom, this right there, smoke detector. Every bedroom needs a smoke detector, okay? Also very, very important for the safety of the tenant. They need to know, they need to be made aware if there's a fire. So as we walk through, we're gonna walk right across the street here, and this is bedroom number 2. So this bedroom was here. We put all brand new LVP throughout this entire house. Looks great, okay? Very, very nice. Closet doors, again, these are closet doors that are gonna close very nicely. They're gonna open very nicely. Everything needs a closet, okay? Every bedroom needs a closet. And we have our smoke detector up here as well. They're gonna check the lights. So lights work, very bright, very clear, very nice. They're gonna look at the vent covers. And now something very important also, they're also gonna check the blanks. So if you had an outlet that wasn't working, it needs to be blanked over. This is very, very important, because if it's not blanked over, then you can have someone sticking stuff in it. The electrical might not be done right. It might not have been done recently, and they want to make sure that if the receptacle is not safe, or it's no longer in use, it's blanked. Okay. So as we continue through here, guys, you can see how nice this floor came out. Really, really great. It was original flooring. Ken and I talked a little bit about the floor and if we wanted to LVP the whole thing. And Ken didn't. He wanted to make sure that the existing hardwood we could refinish, because when you have that shine in hardwood, it tends to get people into your units fairly quickly. So very important. Now, as we keep going, another huge piece. Let's talk about the thermostat. So the thermostat. The Section 8 inspector is going to look at this, and they're going to say, okay, what is it set at? Here it's set at 72 degrees. Room temperature is 66. The reason being is because we shut this off. When we came in here, it was set at 65, and it was freezing in here, okay? It's a little cooler today, and plus we don't want the AC running full bore when nobody's in the house. We can set it, we like to set it at 72 because we don't like moisture and heat to build up in the units, because when that happens, the walls can sweat because, it can get really hot outside. We don't want heat accumulating. When the walls sweat, we get water in the house, then we get mold and mildew. So we want to crack down on that. And by doing that, we keep the unit set at 72. So somebody was in here, maybe somebody looking at the house, they moved the AC down to 65, which right now it's the middle of the summer. It's why I'm wearing a t-shirt. and so we just moved it up. So now it's starting to go up. But what they're gonna do, if they come in here and they see that it's set at 72 and the room temperature is 76, they're gonna know the and we're on cool. If that's the case, fail, because the HVAC unit is not holding the proper temperature, okay? So that is a big piece of this, and that's something they are going to look at. So you got to make sure that your units are staying cool or they're staying warm in the winter, and that's very important to what we're doing as well. So as we walk through, let's talk about the kitchen. So the last time you guys saw this kitchen, it didn't really look like this, and kitchens are a huge failure point for Section 8. So what a Section 8 inspector is going to do, they're going to come over here, they're going to turn the sink on, okay? They're going to turn the hot water on, they're going to test for both. So hot water's on, we're going to wait. These haven't been turned on in a long time. And now it's warm. Okay, it's warm, but they're gonna let it sit. Okay, so this is the first time the water has been turned on here in a while. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna see if the water is building up. So we can clearly see the water's not. If it's not flowing very cleanly and it starts to build back up, they know that there's an issue with the drain, and that's a fail. Okay. Now, see how fast it all drained, no drain problems, the sink is clean, the everything around here, the food preparation is clean, we have blanked out outlets where we're not using them, very clean. Is there an outlet by here? Yes, there is. Is it GFI protected? Absolutely. So we have GFI protections here. Now, the only way you can have GFI or GFCI protected outlets that don't have a GFI or GFCI protection at the outlet is if they're protected in the panel. So you might see an outlet near water that we do that isn't GFCI protected at the outlet. It has a protection on the breaker in the panel box, okay? This was here. This was a Section 8 rental before we came in here. So we were able to just to leave that. We replaced the cover, but that's it. So let's talk about cabinets. Let's talk about cabinets. So when it comes to cabinets, cabinets are a huge failure point with Section 8. And they are because a lot of times people neglect cabinets. Cabinet doors need to open and close. So they have to open and they have to close. You might think that that is an easy thing. It is not. If they don't open and close by themselves, it's a fail. If they sit here and they do this to where they're open like this, that's a fail. They have to close and stay closed. So everything that you're seeing here, these are all a pass. Everything here is a pass. Open, close, open, close. Very trivial, right? Open, closed, stays closed. Open, closed, stays closed. Clean surfaces. Now, keep in mind, this place still has to get deep cleaned before it gets photographed. But food preparation, that's another big one. If you have a kitchen and the only part of the kitchen is this sink, or even sink and here, and we don't have space here, and we don't have space here, and we don't have cabinet space, you will fail a Section 8 inspection for lack of food preparation space, okay? Very important. Now, as we walk in, we're gonna keep going, okay? We have our stove right here. So guys, stove, very important, okay? Hood vent. This hood vent needs to be cleaned, but otherwise it works, it operates, and it is going to be very necessary for Section 8, because if you don't have a hood vent, everything from your stove smokes, and it's a fail. You need a working hood vent over your stove. As we keep going to the rear of the house, you have a secure door, okay? One thing that Section 8 is going to do, they are going to look at this door, and that battery's chirping, so we'll need a new battery right over your head. But this door is a brand new steel door, okay? They want to make sure it's gonna lock. They want to make sure no problem locking, right? No issues, it's not bumping into anything in the wall. Same thing here. Is the door handle secure? Yep, very secure. Does it open? It sure does. Does it lock? Yes, it does. So everything here they're gonna look at, they wanna make sure that there's trim. And most importantly, they're gonna look at this door like this. And they don't wanna see any daylight. So they wanna make sure that it's weather stripped on the inside and the outside, which it is right in there, to make sure that there's no daylight at all coming through the door. All right? Now, same thing here. We have a water heater. This was old. We didn't do everything here. We did a good amount of stuff, but we did not do everything. This is an old water heater. There's nothing wrong with it. I just, put my hand under warm water. This is warm. It's fine. It's an electrical water heater, and it doesn't need to be encapsulated in its own closet because it's not in the kitchen. This is a separate place, so it doesn't have to be in its own water heater closet. All right. So walking through here, guys, if you recall, we did all new floors, all new LVP in this room, right? Yep. So we did all new LVP in here. We did all new LVP in the bathroom. We did all new LVP in this bathroom. That's a GFCI protected at the panel. That's why that is not a GFI outlet by the water heater. So everything in here was redone, and then everything in here was redone as well. So when you're talking about going through these Section 8 inspections, it's the little stuff that's going to trip you up. It's the small items. It is the not having a smoke detector right here in the bedroom. It is the not having a dryer vent by your dryer. It's small things, guys, that are gonna make a huge difference. It's the items that are very, very minuscule that you think might not matter that end up being a huge part of failing an inspection. Now, it's raining outside, so we're not gonna go outside and do an exterior, but they'll also walk around the house. They're gonna look at the fascia on the outside. They're gonna look at the soffits and make sure they're not rotting or they're not peeling or chipping paint. They're gonna walk around the exterior of the house to make sure that there's not chipping or peeling paint there as well. So there is a huge, huge list, and depending on the Section 8 housing authority that you're using, it might be just a general housing inspection list from HUD. It could be an Inspire list, depending on what that housing authority uses as their baseline inspection protocols. So it just depends on the market, depends on the housing authority. Every housing authority is different. You might have 3 or 4 housing authorities in one city, and each one uses a different inspection checklist. So it's so important, guys, to make sure that when you're doing this, you're doing it with people who know which checklist is going to be used. So when you're building out these units, you do it right. All right. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please leave questions, comments. I know Kent will drop in the comment section as well. He's fantastic. If you're not following him already, please do. And any questions for me, of course, let me know, and we'll see you next time.